You guys have no idea just how close I was to dying just now. You may have heard a sound effect earlier. That sounded like things being thrown at me. Which it was, because every single item throw redeem that was queued, I accidentally accepted them all rather than refund the points, and they all were invoked at the same time. I almost turned into paste. That was scary as hell. And to think, all I wanted to do was test whether the head pat worked. Holy goddamn. Hello, everyone. That was a lot to take in. And guess what? It works. Holy god damn.
구태여 좋냐 안 좋냐를 따지자면 밤보다는 낮을 선호하는 편입니다. 보이지 않을수록 이해가 어렵기 때문입니다.
Alright, it's time to gamble. Now that's just insulting me, because I grinded all those events. I wonder what happened if the throw 100 things was spammed. That's why I make it expensive. That would have been cute. Make one of the throw something things be free? No! You gotta earn doing that by watching me. And that's how you get points. Oh, goody. We just get points for spending and Keffel, and that's great. Okay. Let's see. 4th, 5th Bokak. Literally doesn't matter because I already have these guys. I have all the Walpurgis knock crap, except for the current stuff. You want to hit me with a metal cup, though? Well, you better fucking earn it. Keep watching. Hey, Senpai. Head pat for luck? Yeah, sure, alright. Hold on, I gotta pull out Old Reliable for this. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that noise. That was just one of my things in the background that definitely didn't break anything. Yep, Yep.
Limbus Company!
I have invoked the dawn of good fortune, not misfortune. Holy shit. So yeah, I have quite a bit of pool saved up. I'm a hoarder like that. Well, we're not off to a good start. The fucking Don Quixote. Alright. Alright, 2 pools! Damn! The soundboard isn't doing me any favors. Damn, that's really bad luck. Okay, pool number 3. God damn. At least give me Heathcliff dupes. I need that fucking thumb student ID. God damn. Okay, pool number 4. Let's go. Faust saying Limbus Company for luck. I don't have that one. I just have the Dawn. I need to put a lance on my avatar for it to work. Hold on. Let me see if I can accommodate that. Let's see. What do we got? Hold on. Do I got anything for that? I don't think I do. Shit. We got this? No, this doesn't work. Okay. Does this work? Damn! My toggles, they be broken. Oh well. I think I'm invoking too many Don Quixotes. She keeps coming home. Maybe I need to invoke more Heathcliffs. Pool number 5. God damn. It's a Hong Lu and a Don Quixote. God damn, alright. It worked! Alright, what's it gonna be this time? We're pulling for Faust as one of the targets. You probably use the center we're pulling for. No. My obstinate stubbornness will get me through this. I need to put the bunny ears. Fucking thumb cup? Fuck me! That's the first ID I ever sharded. That was pool 60. What the hell is a layhang doing? It's fine. I literally have enough pools to spark all of them if I have to. Fuck me. Okay, 70 pulls in. Damn! Okay. Pull 80, here we go. Oh. Something? but neither of them will Walpurgis, I think.
내가 너를 위해 기도할 것이니 넌 반드시 부서진다.
Sure! Okay, whatever, dude. Alright. Oh. And a Dawn dupe. Okay. Heals are always welcome. Hell yeah! I'm amassing a Meursault collection. Draw a Faust ritual with the green marker. What manner of prescript is this? Alright, pull 90. Nothing. Bitch! I already have every Rodion ID. How am I getting dupes of the thumb? Bruh! Oh! This is it. This has to be it.
이래서 좋구만. 이번에도 노른자는 한가운데 잘 뛰어났군 그래.
That puts us at 100 pulls. We now have 100 more to do, so we can finish it off. Hi, Mr. Breast. Please don't ever refer to him as that ever again. That's what I'm talking about. Give me them Heathcliff dupes. Mr. Breast is for soul. It's true. So true, Breasty. How many fucking Don Quixote shards do I have? Alright, cool. Whatever. I pull 120. Bitch. Fucking hell. Okay, sure. Why not? Whatever. At this point, at this rate, I'm just gonna get fucking Capote. Actually, I need to get the Kim Salt ego. Full 130. Nada. Oh! Oh!
줬어. 평생 꿈도 못 꿔봤을 굉장한 검술도 가르쳐 주셨지. 알아.
Finally, more fucking food for Ryoshi.
언제까지 이렇게 살아야 하는 거냐?
And a fucking Don Gregor dupe. Okay. Ain't no goddamn way! I didn't do the daily paid lunacy pool. Shut the fuck up. Alright, okay, but seriously, 70 pulls to either get the fucking ego or the Don Faust. Or both, ideally, but you know how it goes. That's not green. That's not green. What are you? Huh?
좀 슴슴한가 했더니 이런 난장판이라는 조미료를
It's her, the creature!
본인이 미쳐 몰랐군.
Breasty like la criatura. Celebratory? Celebratory? Damn, son! Alright. Full 150. Let's go. Aww. Well, good news is, this means I can dispense Ricardo Cliff now. Full 160, let's go! That's a Don dupe, isn't it? Oh! No, it's a Hongle's dupe. What am I even gonna do with all those Hong Lu shards at this point? I guess I can get the frog ego. Full 170! Bitch. Yeah?
표정.
Yeah!
이겨내겠어. 이 처참한 보화. 호접이 그대를 화장할지니. 그 후로 아무것도 남지 않으리.
I feel good. Alright, that just means I have to do 3 more pulls and I can just get Faust. Ooh, ooh. Oh, it's a Sinclair dupe. Okay. Sure. Anyway, full 190. Aw. Faust?
검정색 바늘, 비정형적 문양. 역시 파우스트의 예상대로 이번 사건의 배우는 그들이었던 것 같군요.
What are the odds I get BEANIE on this last pool? That'd be fucking crazy. Yeah, I didn't think it'd be happening. Well, it's not green, but...
매달고 불태우거라. 끝끝내 뼈조각
Cool!
남지 않도록.
Now I just need Sunset Wayfarer, and I basically have a full set for Thumb Rodion. Get that fucking fell bullet out of my sight, bitch. I just realized I now have a viable Burned on. Oh my goodness, and she's also poised. I don't exactly have a Tremor Honglu, though. Goodbye, Fire Fist. Hello, Salva de Gregor. Fuck. Burn Tremor on fucking Unbrilliant Glory. This guy's gonna be fucking popping off. And now I have a full set of egos for you. And hell, it triggers fucking Tremor Burst. Oh, yeah! It replaces Sanguine Desire for her. And it's a fucking healing ego. Well, look at that. We win. Unfortunately, this means Thumbclair found dead in streets of Detroit, right? I don't have a Bernie song. Yeah, you're bleed. Don't forget to choose an announcer, otherwise it's just gonna turn to threats. Yeah, I already know who I'm choosing. I just wanted to make sure I have a team set up for this shit. Oh, this mirror dungeon run's gonna go fucking crazy. I could run Magic Bullet, or I could just run Middle Nurse Father for memes. What happens if you spend ideality on an announcer you already have? Oh, okay. Magic Bullet is the best burn eagle. Dark Flame is very limited. Yeah.
나에게서 이름을 묻진 마렴. 비나라는 건 이름이 아니란다. 이곳, 이 수많은 무덤이 있는 공간의 슬픈 이름이지. 나는 그저 우물을 깃는 자. 이번엔 무엇을 내게 길어올리라 부탁하려고 이곳으로 온 거니?
Alright, Bina, I need you to suck off Carmen. Now, the question is, do I have... I do not. I don't have nearly enough fucking leveling tickets for this shit. I'm very curious to uncap Salvador because I want to see what this looks like. Yep, look at you. Tremor burn, tremor scorch, motherfucker. Oh, we're going to be doing this from now on, huh? Okay, cool. Alright. At one of the countless raging battlefields of the Smoke War, this very technique melted down and cleaved through a certain decisive weapon's last pair of wings and the space it inhabited, heralding the dawn's end. Oh no. He is the fixer at dawn. Ole no. Ha, that almost killed me. Lady, do you think you can finish that monster off? Fucking Salvador upscale, Jesus.
그럼 그렇게나 많은 죽음을 머금고 편하게 마무리 지을 수 있을 거라고 생각했나?
Is that him talking to
이번엔
Roland?
정말 각오하는 게 좋을 거다, 애송이.
Alright, let's see what your fucking uncap says. With every breath I took, the acrid air around me burned my throat. Cries of pain, sorrow, and fear rang out from every direction, and other indescribable horrors overwhelmed my senses as the thick blanket of smoke squeezed the oxygen out of the air. The smoke permeated everything, even in fields of battle packed full with a spray of blood and scattering shrapnel, clashing blades and bullets whizzing past comrades and enemies both. The miasma found the cracks to suffuse. We used to call it stench, the scent of humans. Oh, here comes my daily fix. Let me set it on your table, Master. It's hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Listen, kid. There's really no need to baby me like that. Years have passed since that smoke left its final mark on my memory, and now I'm leading a small fixer office where I nurture and train pupils of my own. I wonder what my younger self would think if he saw me as I am now. Could he have ever imagined this kind of life? The kind of prosaic, peaceful life where I get to sit in a cool, air-conditioned room and sip on a pleasantly warm cup of changhua cha my pupil brewed? He has a point, Sinclair. Perhaps it would be best for your career prospects if you redirected the focus of your endeavors onto tasks that more befit the responsibilities of a fixer, rather than that of a tea brewer. Brewing sangwa cha can't possibly be so important a task that you would spend the time every morning to carefully analyze your superior's mood and choose which toppings would suit his palate. Well, still, I think I'm pretty good at it, so... Could he have imagined this kind of sedate life where I get to enjoy a hearty chuckle every now and then, watching the shenanigans unfold as my pupils passive-aggressively throw jabs at one another about what are ultimately frivolities? No. How could he? After all, how could he lose himself daydreaming when even a split second of distraction would mean certain death? Oh yeah, you just got back from that contract, didn't you? The Urban Legend class request? Yes. I have completed the request regarding the 1,000 needles. Wow, you're impressive. Solving an Urban Legend class request all on your own? The target posed an increasingly substantial threat as it mounted a more aggressive resistance toward the end, but... I had a question regarding the contract, Herr Gregor. Huh, for me? What is it? As the name 1,000 Needles would suggest, I was presented with ample opportunities to collect and examine some black needles at the scene. Bearing those symbols, I presume? Correct. Symbols with a yellow glow, to be precise. Its patterns were analyzed next to symbols used by various workshops that marked their output, but no exact match was identified. Imitating Stigma's product branding's all the rage these days. There's been an uptick in workshops marking their products, leaving their symbols on the aftermath of battle. You got me worried for a sec. Maybe they'd become so money-grubbing that they started sponsoring all kinds of maniacs out there. But with that's one load off my mind. Though it isn't as bad as it used to be, the city is losing what warmth it had by the hour. The proverbial winter is starting to set in its denizens lately. I like to think I've seen my fair share of the worst the city had to offer, but day after day, the increasingly bizarre and out there incidents find their way to shake and shock me and you. If there was any warmth at all, its temperature was rapidly dropping to what could be described as nothing else but frigid. Still, the optimist in me says it's not all bad, that we as a collective haven't quite reached the line we mustn't cross, and I find solace in that. Then again, you never know. Maybe there are folks out there, people already too far gone and have crossed the line and then some, but... as long as they didn't make it my business by invading this cozy little place I've got with my students, I don't think I want to concern myself with those things too much. Sponsorships? I didn't know workshops did that. You did not? Odd. Herr Gregor is the proverbial poster child of workshop-sponsored fixers. What? Can't blame Sinclair for not knowing. It's not like I have a habit of harping on about old times. I posit the argument that any sentence that begins with "back in my day" that you are so fond of counts towards the conventional definition of harping on about old times. In that case, could you tell us a little bit about your past? I know you're a very prestigious fixer, Master, but I never had the opportunity to hear about what exactly you've done to earn that reputation. Yeah. Maybe the stories of those days are better shared in a light-hearted conversation. Just something to be mentioned in passing. Enough time has passed now anyway. I've been using Stigma workshop weapons throughout my career from the day I first started working in this business. Now, if you ask whether they were the best workshop weapons among all the ones I've browsed, trying to find a weapon that'll keep me company through thick and thin, no, they weren't exactly all that. Then why did you decide to go with the Stigma workshop weapon, Master? Well, I could say there was the matter of my thin, hungry wallet, but more importantly, big-name workshops out there don't let anybody walk right in just because they come knocking on their doors. Gotta keep your clientele more distinguished, if you know what I mean. In other words, more well-known workshops weren't all that eager to take a commission from some no-name grade 9 fixer, even if he had the coin for it, which he didn't. Fortunately for me, Stigma Workshop was a relative unknown back in the day with a more niche audience, which meant they had no qualms letting some greenhorn like me purchase a decently high-quality weapon. Anyway, while the partnership was coincidental, it ended up being a win-win. I kept racking up successful contracts, and Stigma Workshop reaped the subsequent renown in a new swath of customers. And as a token of gratitude, they were generous enough to offer personalized upgrades to my weapon. Aha! So that's why all of our weapons are... You catch on quick, kid. All thanks to my connections, that Stigma Workshop's allowed a young chickling like yourself to wield one of their quality weapons. It seems that our office rep rarely tires of self-aggrandizing behavior, though one cannot deny the veracity of that claim. Anywho, it really saved my bacon more than a few times in the smoke war. The smoke war type shit. It's the same with any war, I'm sure. But for boots on the ground foot soldiers, survival was the only thing that mattered. The most surefire way to guarantee survival would have been to stay as far away as I could from the war, but that wasn't an option for nest-born fixers like myself. Some battlefields were so dire that even association fixers had to struggle through fight after fight with broken, malfunctioning weapons and worn-down outfits. But because I was sponsored by Stigma Workshop, every time my sword needed maintenance, they provided it free of charge and even threw in a series of upgrades. Back then, too, I was part of a detachment. Perhaps a rather too grand a name for what was really a hastily assembled group of fixers with even the remotest preparations against the damage of fire and heat in the war. We were a bunch of ragtag soldiers at best, but I won't deny that there was an air of unwarranted confidence among us, given that all we needed to do was burn up a pair of wings. But that day, on that hill... We ain't falling back here! Push the line forward! Infestation zone cleared! Regroup and rendezvous with Section Director and... Calling all recruited office fixers. We can do this together! Our right flame wall needs reinforcement! A monstrosity of evasive abilities bordering on precognition and offensive capabilities that with a single hit could all but guarantee instant death. That was one of the decisive weapons of G-Corp, and Liu Association was selected specifically to handle it. I was probably stronger than each individual Liu fixer, but... One set of wings reduced to ashes. Just one more push and... Don't let your guard down, team. Stay alert. Huh. Looks like we might actually have a chance. There's really no point in measuring individual merit when it comes to Liu fixers. The moment an all-out battle began, they came together with a combined fluidity not unlike that of a single organism. A dragon, charging through the enemy forces under the section director's command. It wasn't long before their flames dominated the entire battlefield. For a moment, the situation seemed so favorable that I began to hope we might defeat this foe without needing reinforcements. And with how things looked, this enemy was definitely on its back foot. We would definitely be able to seize victory with just a little more effort. Enemy altitude's down, but velocity remains constant. Its erratic movements haven't slowed at all either, Director. Goddamn bug. Its airborne vertical maneuverability won't be diminished much, even if we somehow manage to burn all its wings. I see. The point of this operation was to prevent high-speed airborne escape. But whatever possible scenario we could come up with based on common sense did not apply to a decisive weapon of a wing. This is the famous Flame of Liu? Slower than I imagined. The raging, seemingly impenetrable wall of fire flickered as it danced, inadvertently revealing the most minuscule of openings. And the monster's eyes caught sight of two Liu fixers. And in the blink of an eye, they were gone. Before most of the fixers could even comprehend what had happened, I ran desperately to block the beginnings of a growing rupture in the formation. Hey! It's right above you! Swing up! Gah! You swung, but with a curious delay. Was he your favorite? You fuck! Director, don't let that monster get to you! Calm yourself and Once a crack begins to split open, it only grows into a rift. Without moving as one in organic fluid motion, the flames will scatter into mere cinders, no longer merged as a flame dragon. The monster turned the tide, taking cover behind the fire and heat haze that obscured not only its vision, but ours too. Fixtures of mediocre ability scattered across the battlefield served only as hostages or meat shields for the monstrosity. Before we could even complete our initial goal of burning its wings. G-Corp bastards. Just what the hell have you created? Director! The Lord of Flies ascended upon the dragon's head and crushed it to a pulp. Our forces were minutes away from complete annihilation. I had to do something. So I ran up to the front of the line and rallied the troops. Regroup here, to me! You know who I am. We even had a quick meet and greet, remember? All of you are now under my command. Focus entirely on providing me support, and I swear I'll burn that fucking vermin's remaining wings to ash. You're not our section director. We work with him best. I doubt you can feel his boots. Maybe. But you, me, we're not exactly flush with options, are we? No. Guess not. Fine. We'll march with you. Lead us. The world was on fire and we were trapped in a flaming cage. The sky above was nothing but pitch black darkness. Smoke from fires and smoke that smelled of humans mingled, creating a horrible crimson eye of a noxious storm I could hardly describe in any fitting words. But I was the leader on the hill now, and so I imitated the dragon's head to the best of my abilities. I may not have been the guy to fill the section director's boots, and I was only flying by the seat of my pants. But by having a small army of fixers following my flow and releasing bursts of flame at just the right moments, my firepower grew twice as powerful. I alone blazed in the glow of the falling sun amidst the burning field of the infestation zone. With the Liu fixers behind me, I felt I could measure up pretty well against even the legendary Vermilion Cross himself, but... the Vermilion Jobber. But the bodies kept piling and piling. Past a certain level, simple numerics like how many augmentations you have and what grade your gear is don't decide the outcome. This is where the other previously neglected factors come into play. Their training routine, the kinds of effort they've put into them. The matchup between fighters, the battlefield, and the circumstances that might or might not give you an edge. We lasted pretty long for a sunset, didn't we? We kept on fighting even in this pitch black night. Eventually, I was the only one standing against that monstrosity of a foe. The Lord of Flies did not appear even remotely winded, as though he were drawing from an infinite pool of energy. The situation seemed rather hopeless, but I was young at the time. I still had that youthful streak of rebelliousness burning somewhere within me then. Because I wasn't ready to sit down and let death take me. So I gathered up whatever strength I had left in me. All the muscle memory, all the training I've done up to that moment, and held it all in my hand. Hey, Flybud. I don't know if you've been keeping track of the time, but the sun will be peeking over the horizon soon. Just look at how the faintest blue is starting to encroach into the black night, heralding the crack of dawn. The heated blade draws a beautiful pattern as it cleaves through space before me under the distant sky. But the reach of my blade is too short to strike the monster. It evades to the side with ease and regurgitates a stream of corrosive fluid. And it lands right on my sword arm, melting it, eating through flesh and bone. You know what they say, that it's darkest before the dawn. But it's pretty bright out here now, isn't it? I could feel its fluid spreading, eating away at my torso from shoulder to hip. But at the same time, so does the space my purest resolve and sword has rent through, its sundered fabric melting away as though by flame. And the fly's wings that were touching the very tip of my blade's arc fall apart, its sliced segments melting away. Now that I didn't see coming. But what will you do now? It seems you are now out of options. I didn't quite imagine it happening like this, but at least they made it in time for the sunrise. Say hello to my reinforcement and your death. Weakling. Though the battle was fierce, all we managed to do at the end of the day was cut off its means of escape. And the reinforcement command decided to send out was but a single combatant. A single combatant to face this insurmountable foe, who was still armed with unpredictable movements and a seemingly bottomless well of stamina. I'd be lying if I said the realization didn't hit me with a wave of disappointment and a profound sense of futility. Hey, don't you know who I am? But nobody who's fought even a single skirmish in this battlefront wouldn't recognize the woman who just marched up to the battlefield with cigar smoke billowing in the wind. She's the same person who survived the brutal gauntlet of duel after duel that mercilessly cut down a number of promising futures. Namely that of the Grade 1 fixer who was a popular candidate for the title of a color fixer, the rising right hand of a Soto Campo, and others whose prospects were just as golden. And emerged victorious one battle after another. Another monster of another nature. Of course I do. I've seen the way you fight. After leaving everything in her hands, I returned to our encampment in the backlines and had my injuries treated. And surrounded by the roaring cheer of spectators, I got to watch a recording of her battle against the Lord of Flies. The footage slowed down by several dozen times. The only way the video could have captured the way the two combatants sped and zoomed around each other. In that footage, it seemed as though the reinforcement managed to behead the Lord of Flies, killing it instantly before it even realized it was dying. As it turns out, if you kill the Lord of Flies before it even registers its own death, it won't have the chance to spawn the Maggot Prince. It was a shame that so much of the work we did to prepare to counter the Maggot Prince went to waste, but thanks to the Stigma Workshop symbols here on the back of the Lord of Flies, and with the witness reports from Lou Fixers, who managed to survive the massacre, they recognized me as a major contributor to the success of that operation. Gregor? Hey, Gregor? Ah, sorry. Must have gotten lost reminiscing. Anyways. Apparently, burning the monster's wings ended up being one hell of a promotion for Stigma Workshop. You fellas better learn to appreciate me, because I'm the only reason they're still offering weapons sponsorship to our office even in my semi-retirement. Not to mention how the connections I made then got us the position of the Loot Association's affiliate office. Whoa! You really are amazing, Master! I'm going to go crazy and ruin all of this. Amazing. I'm just a washed-up fixer with a broken body that never fully healed. Damages caused by the Lord of Flies' extremely corrosive fluid would have been difficult to recover from, even with a K-Corp ampule of fairly high purity. It is likely that his nerves failed to fully regenerate. Yeah, I guess so. Still, it's all thanks to that one ampule I got for outstanding valor that I'm still alive and kicking after all this time. Remember, those ampules were even rarer back in my day. Wow. Huh. Kinda weird that the lady who slayed the decisive weapon isn't in the news at all nowadays, though. Haven't heard much about her myself in a long while. She sure didn't seem the type to get herself killed unceremoniously, too. Well, she's probably enjoying herself on a comfy seat lording over peons like us. Washed. Anyways, how's that for harping on about old times? Had enough yet? I throw a lighthearted jab as I pick up a piece of paper that's been on my desk for a while today, related to our next contract. Is that the object that's had the fixer industry abuzz lately? You got that right. This is what our next contract will be about. They said that my Zvi alum's death is connected to this contract too. Oh no. I'm sorry for your loss, Master. I can't imagine what you're going through. My heart's unscathed, kid. I was never fond of that fella. Question is, have you heard anything about this object, Sinclair? Something they call the library's invitation. Oh, that's it? That's the story? Okay. Oh, fuck. We are protection maxing. Holy shit. Remove staggered threshold. So it's a Sinclair upscale. The unit is staggered, recover from stagger. And they replace one of its base skills with skill 3. That's fucking crazy. He no longer loses the ego. And now he gains shield every turn. And he inflicts extra burn against anyone who attacks him. Ah, what a pleasant aroma. You're practically a color fixer when it comes to brewing Sanghua cha, you know that? I hereby anoint you the color fixer Hideo Sanghua. That's settled then. I'll be tutoring you myself, so you better keep up. I see real potential in you, kid. Your Sanghua cha brewing skills have this instinctive grasp of the moment. And being able to recognize that moment is the key to just about everything. Lamau! Master, please. I still have so much to learn. You said it yourself. Dawn is a fleeting thing. It soon gives way to morning and fades into daylight, with a promise of sunset that will bring about the evening. If he dies, it now becomes blazing sunset, which he's permanently in ego state. Live. Burn, burn, burn. You see, kid, fire's not the be-all end-all solution to every problem you've got. When it comes to using heat-modulating weapons like these, the deciding factors often come down to when to spark the flame and how hot you let it burn. Yeah, that's why I'm always chewing your ear off about how important it is to feel the... Wait, no. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I'm always chewing your ear off about how important it is to feel the moment that comes with the territory of using heat-modulating weapons. But on the other hand, when that moment tells you to burn it all down, don't hold back and just let it rip. Hmm? Oh, you want to know who's the best in the field? Let's see. Well, the best of the best got to be the Vermilion Cross, I'd wager. He's gonna fucking inflict bleed, isn't he? Ah, beautiful. This is the dogpiling ID. This team's gonna go fucking crazy. Actually, hold on. The first flare of dawn is not a fire that scorches, but one that casts its glow on people. Okay, an A-plus class workshop weapon that has remained a constant companion of its wielder, the Fixer at the Crack of Dawn, since its first days as a Fixer through the Smoke War and its fallout. Every contract successfully carried out by the Fixer added to Stigma Workshop's fame, and as a show of gratitude, they repeatedly upgraded and expanded the weapon's capabilities. Just as the Fixer's seasoned renown was built up over time, this blade too was reforged, remade, and sharpened by the years. Morgenthau, once regarded as an S-class weapon, inevitably lost its fervor and edge in the twilight years of the Fixer at the Crack of Dawn, as he withdrew from the front lines of the Fixer business in favor of teaching the next generation. A prosthetic gear produced by Stigma Workshop, a workshop normally specializing in bladed weaponry, designed specifically for the Fixer at the Crack of Dawn to use. Attempting to use this fiery equipment without understanding Stigma Workshop's precise quirks will be met with swift consequences. Painful, flesh-melting burn marks seared into the user's body. Well, he's goated.
말을 길게 끌 것 없겠군요. 그레고르 싱클레어, 바로 시작하죠.
She's huge. It has been determined that this case merits preservation as a record. The following is the case record pertaining to today's request. Oh, this is her fucking, this is her book entry in Ruina. Case name, 1000 Needles. Serial code, DN00113. Grade, Urban Legend. The case has now developed to a point where assigning codes beginning with A- to the victims no longer serves any practical purpose. Catastrophic propagation via a series of random chain reactions would be an appropriate description for the nature of this case. As such, it would be both inefficient and impossible to assign individual serial codes to every victim scattered throughout the street. The circumstances surrounding the case align with both the information gathered from rumors and the case report compiled by Representative Gregor of the Dawn Office. Now briefly recording the state of the case scene. Sections of the building have been liquefied, and beneath the damaged structure, traces in the form of human remains can be observed. Many of the victims' remains are no more than distal extremities of the human body. By contrast, it is rare to find torsos and internal organs that maintain even a moderate resemblance to their original forms. Given this fact, it is reasonable to infer that the prevailing cause of death in this case is something of an explosive nature. Remaining bits and pieces of human flesh also indicate that said explosion was accompanied by countless shrapnel tearing the bodies inside out. Faust determines that all of the observations indeed point to a single property, omnidirectional fragmentation of this pitch-black matter from within the body. A presentation identical to that of prior cases. The matter is abnormally dense compared to its mass. Its material strength is also unnaturally high. Merely touching the surface of the wall permits the matter to drill through it with negligible resistance. Immediately after making contact, the matter begins to melt in areas several times larger than the point of contact. It is difficult to believe that such a material could have been produced by the human body. It is certain that this matter is identical to one currently under Faust's investigation as an object of interest, designated as needles. Yes, that is correct. Symbols of an irregular, atypical pattern, which Faust had repeatedly received on-site verification requests for, are present on the material. Now cross-referencing this observation against Faust's information. No matching information found. In that case, the minority hypothesis, which alleges that the symbol points to a malicious advertisement attempt by a certain upstart workshop, may be dismissed as false. Now moving on to the next proposed hypothesis. Yesterday's promise in demonic magic. Has the presently recorded cases seen yielded any verifiable fact that substantiates the said hypothesis? Understood. Faust recalls having a stored piece of information regarding the body of a corporate employee found in the backstreets, a victim of the so-called gut harvesting. A corpse also bore a much similar symbol. Gut harvesting refers to the criminal act of the backstreet syndicates by which corpses are stripped of anything considered to have monetary value. Fausts who limit themselves to observing nest source information may have been unsuitable participants in the discussion of this particular subject. Magic. It strains the realm of believability, but if such an incomprehensible phenomenon does indeed exist, perhaps this would be one of the ways by which it is manifested. Balloons popping would be the closest approximation. The radius of the damage is far too great for such a seemingly weightless impact force. Does the entity designated as yesterday's promise truly employ a power that may be termed as magic? Perhaps access to some more pieces of information would help Faust thread together the truth of the matter. Yes, of course. Faust is aware that access to any information beyond this point is prohibited. However, it is an established fact that entity's ability concerns contracts, in which case working as a fixer should bring Faust closer to an answer. Understood. Then the discussion regarding this record will conclude here. Faust will need to head to the office and submit a report. Sinclair said he had something he wished to say to Faust once this was over. However, it appears Faust will not be able to hear it. And it seems probable. It seems probable that this will be Faust's final record. Current location: the library as per the popular denomination. Correct. This is the same place that has recently been reclassified as an urban plague. Faust confirms that writing one's name on the invitation alone is sufficient to transport the invitee to this place. This record is best shared with the other Faust in advance. Ah. Access rights received. Faust cannot help but notice that access is granted to Faust when it is already too late. Would that mean... No, please disregard that. Concentrating on the battle at hand would be the more rational choice. Yes, the opponents seem determined to make Faust their initial target. It is unlikely that Faust will be able to fend off the entirety of their focused offense. They are healing themselves merely by grabbing pebbles in their hands. And Faust hears the incomprehensible ringing of a cry, a song, or perhaps just an echo. The mind feels as though it were shaking and staggering just by hearing the sound. So, canonically, they were killed by the Netsack floor, I think. Is this an attack launched by utilizing the properties of abnormalities? If so, what could this place possibly be? Though I find this development disappointing, I should think of this as a fortunate outcome that has availed me the opportunity to leave an account at the very least. Because even should this Faust fail here, the grand objective of Faust must be preserved at all costs. Faust only has one wish, to know all of the city. Ending record. And now it's time for Unclair.
슬퍼하고 있는 저를 위해 대신 물어줄 사람은 없겠죠.
You know, you could try different kinds of tea once in a while. Is my sangwa cha really that delicious? Master answers teasingly as though I was asking him the most obvious question in the world. My Senbei will be back from a contract soon, so I opened the window wide for her return. Senbei said she'll be making a quick stop at the workshop, so I don't suppose she'll be long. Days without contracts were always so peaceful. Chatting about the day-to-day goings-on with my master while sipping on a cup of sangwa-cha. Worrying about our next month's rent with my Senbei, who should be here any minute. It was a warm and gentle hour, not unlike the cold dawn of our office's namesake. I enjoyed that hour. I was making decent progress as a fixer too. Under the skillful guidance of my master, I learned the basics of being a fixer, things I should know if I was really serious about working in this field, and the tricks of using Stigma Workshop's weapons. Whichever contract we picked up, we managed. It was mostly thanks to my master and Senbei's excellent skills, but still. Results begot recognition and I naturally rose to the fixer ranks. A proof that I was slowly bettering myself. But didn't really get to do anything in this contract either. My master was once a prominent fixer during the smoke war. My Senbei once took care of an urban legend contract all on her own. Between these two giants of our Dawn office, my earnest efforts amounted to nothing but a struggle not to fall behind. The two of them always assured me that I wasn't useless, that I was helpful. But all that reassurance rang hollow. We got the invitation. It's that urban plague, the library, isn't it? Will I be going with you? Am I even going to be of any help to you two here? My self-doubt grew with no end. And with it, my faith in the two of them did as well. Too much. I guess I won't have to do much more than provide them some basic support. The faith that the two of them had this in the bag. That I wasn't really that necessary. Hi, Angel. We got done gambling. We got everything we came for. We're just reading the stories of the people we got. And with such a shallow, selfish presumption, I walked into the library. My master, who was so worried about me to no end. My Senbei, who refused to blame me for anything nor show any fear in the face of the end. Even fixers of the affiliate office who offered me help. All were vanquished by the library. Each and every one of them turned into a book. Everyone I'd grown so used to always being there for me were gone. I alone survived. I consider if there's any point in me going back there to fight them. Fabricated heart isn't so bad? No. That can't be. Consider escaping. Reporting everything I'd seen here to an association and then asking them for help. That would be the most logical thing to do, right? You're right. No one really understood my true feelings. Fear grips me. It holds me back from moving on. I slowly retreat. Will this path really bring me nothing but suffering? A beautiful voice whispers comfort in my ears with every withdrawing step I take. And then all of a sudden, I begin to wonder if everything I'd ever done were nothing more than self-serving justifications. And with it comes the inkling of an understanding that I will never be able to forge on, so long as I continue protecting and embellishing myself with a shield of others. That the right path is the honest forward path, not the stuttering retreat disguised as selflessness. I accept that I wasn't even on a righteous path. That I am a squalid, hideous person. I admit it. I admit that I am as uncaring and selfish as any other city dweller. And I seize my retreat. If I were to close my heart to everyone else, turn my back on them, could I truly love myself more? I don't know. I just don't know. Shield my eyes from apprehension. Plug my ears from the beautiful voice. Shut my mouth from the lies that I do this out of altruism. I convince myself that the unembellished reality is no more heartless than my self-serving daydreams. And turn to face the battlefield I had fled from. How unfortunate. The child failed to reveal his true self. He even fell short of full self-restraint. No one's going to cry on behalf of my sorrow. At the end of the day, this pain is my responsibility to bear. Because it is an indelible stigma. If only the child gave greater care to his own emotions. He faced his feelings and all of its hellish flames, and honed it all into the form of a tool. The child failed to reach his pure self. Instead, he remained the form of a human, and directed the tip of his sword against his enemies. That's okay. I once knew a child who was very much like him. A child who, even for a fleeting moment, reached the apex. That child also ignored me the first time, only to lend me his ears later. They are very similar to one another, so I suppose a similar end shall await this one at the end of his path. The child will eventually give up on forging onward, and he will retreat once again. You're wrong, Miss Carmen. I'm afraid. I'm so afraid that I want to let go of this blade and flee this place at this very moment. But I don't want to linger here for any longer. But that path is such a painful one to walk. I wish that he wouldn't subject himself to such suffering. The child, now freed from his shell, dangerously attempts to reach for the heavens when he has but a lone wing. Not knowing that his shaky consciousness was the only thing keeping his wing intact in the flames that devoured his emotions as fuel. He confidently regards the children of the library, his sword arm outstretched to meet their reception. This feeling is destiny bestowed upon me. I have to soar. I will break this shell that stands in my way. I'll break it all together and soar to a higher place. How long will it be until that solitary wing of vanity melts into nothingness under the cascading emotions? There is no way to know for now. But on the day of your wings melting, on the day of your fall, heed my words once again, dear child. Stigma dick in your ass! Limbus new peak player count? Hell yeah! You have any idea how long I've been waiting to pull? Fuck, bro! Now let's see. Fuck. I need so many fucking Gregor shards, dude. I can just get Ricardo now. I'm gonna get Ricardo now. Oh, good. I think the game just... Ricardo is so powerful. Okay.
그러니까 왜 난 살짓하지 말라니까. 어?
Now I'm just missing middle Dawn, I think. But fortunately, since I have fucking Love and Hate Dawn, I can just use that instead. Not the best replacement, but you know, good enough. Alright, so I have nothing to extract from Walpurgis Nacht. I need both Hohenheim Gregs. I need LCD-ish. I believe I can get these egos. Even after the season ends. I don't think we're getting any more IDs. I think we might get standard fare stuff, but we're not going to get any seasonal IDs anymore. I think this is it. So I only need to shard these three. Although I'm pretty sure I can get this at some point. I still need these four. I have so many fucking hung loose shards. Not enough Faust. I should probably get this Faust at some point. Actually, maybe not. Because I now have, fucking... Walpurgis Nacht Faust. Interesting. Do I have a guaranteed ticket still? I have the select ticket, but I don't know who I could use it on Middle Dawn, actually. I just have the full middle team ready. But I'm also thinking, if we're going to be in End Corp next season, and we know for sure that there's going to be an End Corp something, I might be inclined to actually try to go for Encorpioshu. Because she's Bleed and Tremor, and it seemed Encorp is going in the direction of Bleed Tremor. I have all the Heathcliffs that matter, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm literally missing 2 Rhodions, and they're both the standard ones. I'm not gonna fucking bother. At the frequency of which I get Rhodions, I'm eventually just gonna naturally get all of them on my own. Yeah, I should probably reorganize my teams a little.
구태여 좋냐 안 좋?
Like, this is Burn Tremor hybrid, except featuring Hong Lu, who doesn't have a fucking Tremor ID. Fuck, I guess I could use... I guess I could use this, but god, it's fucking useless in Mirror Dungeon. I don't have his fucking Tremor ID. Ring Nurse Father is not a fucking Burn ID. Shut the fuck up. And this is just a generically very good Tremor ID. Even if she is sinking Tremor. There's always this option if I really wanted to, but fuck. Yeah, we got a good Burmer going on. Turn? Churn? This is just fucking hay shows. What the hell was this supposed to be? Oh, this was... Charge? I think this was Charge. What the fuck? Yeah, you're Charge ID. What is this weird-ass fucking team I was doing? Was this sinking? No! What the fuck was I cooking? This was some fucking malarkey. I'll turn this into a middle team eventually, actually. What was this? This was just another Hay Show team. Oh, I think this was because I was, this was for farming events. I would use a support ID or something. What is this? Ammo? This is ammo. This looks like ammo. I'll fix these on my own time. For now, I think we got pretty much everything we wanted done. I know we didn't read or anything like that, and we're not going to be doing any fucking events, because I mean, the event is just spending Keflin. Wow! Honestly, I'm kind of fucking grateful that we're just going to be doing this for 2 weeks. But yeah, I guess that's it. Tomorrow, I will be streaming Half-Life 2 at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So until then, thank you everyone for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider giving me a follow here at twitch.tv/wildwesson. Or if you're watching from YouTube, subscribe to me at youtube/wildwesson. And until next time, please take care of yourselves. Have a pleasant evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it is, wherever it is you are, whenever it is you are. And I'm gonna go goon. I'm just I'm messing with you. Bye, everyone.